Good evening. We're on the GBP USD today, looking at ITM stat showing a predicted direction of long, plus price is freshly bouncing off of the middle crossover EMAs for a third time in this long trend here. So we're going to go over to the GBP USD, enter in a $1,000 amount here, and engage in at least 30 minutes or just around 30 minutes. So it is currently 20:03, and the next available expiry close to 30 minutes is the 20:30. Once we enter the trade, which we are now, we'll come back to you just before expiry. Let's just zoom in here, open up the chart to get a proper view. The trade is now already in the money, and we'll come back to you shortly. All right, back again. The trade has expired in the money. As was seen on ITM MStat, the bounce had happened for a third time. This was a very powerful long trend. The bounce off of the crossover EMAs on your ITM MStat chart are the best, most fine-tuned entry point to take after following ITM MStat's direction. Now, when the trade was taken, ITM MStat was predicting a long movement with the upwards facing arrow. We waited patiently for the bounce to happen again. We'd missed the previous two bounces. The first one there at the bottoms, followed by the second and the third bounce where we eventually took our trade that resulted in this move going into the money yet again, following on with the trend and expiring in the money. The investment made was $1,000. The payout was 85%, and the return therefore is $1,850, a net profit of $850 on this trade here using ITM MStat. As you can see, ITM MStat has a fairly simple display. You are given a predicted direction, whether that be long or short or no go. You are to follow the direction, but time your entry based on the optimized EMA crossover region in the middle, as was shown to you in this trade. The trade taking scenario is really simple. You wait for the price to reach the middle crossover EMAs, regardless of whether it is long or short. Once the price has already reached the middle crossover EMAs, you take the trade in the direction advertised by ITM MStat. It is that simple. Once you're into the trade, wait patiently for the outcome. Try to shoot for 30 minutes or more in your choice of time frame. The shorter time frames will result in a higher number of discrepancies. So the shorter the time frame, the more you're going to see losses and wins happening in quick succession. Whereas if you take longer term time frames, you allow the trade to breathe a lot more and the analysis is more fine-tuned. With ITM MStat, it takes multiple time frames into consideration when arriving at its decision of long or short. In the case of this particular indicator, it takes 7 time frames all the way from M1 through to D1, or 1 minute through to daily, and comes up with an aggregate multi-time frame solution for you, which it then presents to you in the form of a long, short, or no-go indication. Now that data, once taken off of those 7 timeframes, is fed into ITM MStat's proprietary algorithm, which is a leading indicator on its own. Once that happens, you're given an outcome that is a high probability outcome. It is then up to you to time your entries as best as possible using middle crossover EMAs to your advantage that have been optimized for use on the 5-minute time frame to allow you the best, safest entry times possible. Thank you.